Hey guys, I know it's one of those weird fifth weeks for comic book releases, but I still have a few new comic book day recommendations for you. Kind of a weird week for Marvel to choose to wrap up the Spider-Man 2099 Dark Genesis story from Steve Orlando and Justin Mason. But I mean, you want to talk about so much going on in one issue, and there's going to be a lot of 2099s in this thing. Spider-Man 2099, Daredevil 2099, Punisher 2099, Carnage 2099, Venom 2099. So pick a 2099, and you're probably going to get it in this issue. There's a lot that happens. There's a few different fights going on in a couple of different areas. There's a very climactic and important moment that happens in this book with a couple of very familiar characters. And you've got Miguel O'Hara, who's just trying to make sense of it all and trying to, deal with things that he thinks should be his responsibility. And are they? That's one of the questions that comes out of this thing. And there's a couple of teases at the end of this book as well that kind of go towards the future. So this is definitely not the last we're going to see of Spider-Man 2099, but this has been a really good run, and I thought it wraps up really well. I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but if you're already reading this run, it'll be a worthwhile ending, and if you haven't started it yet, hey, it's still time to get the back issues. Power Girl is always a character that doesn't get enough of a spotlight, so I thought I would go ahead and do that here with this Leah Williams and Marguerite Sauvage Power Girl special that's happening this week. It's an oversized issue, and for a good reason, because there's a really cool battle between Power Girl and Johnny Sorrow. Also, Power Girl trying to get through a little bit of an identity crisis of her own. Maybe she feels a little inadequate, feels like she's not good enough, and that's just fueled by what's going on in this battle against Johnny Sorrow. It's just not just the physical, it's the mental as well. And a lot happens in this one issue, and you see her not just struggling with the enemy, but struggling with her friends as well, and her extended family, and trying to figure out where she fits in, and does she believe in herself, do they believe in her, sort of thing. So there's a lot of stuff going on with Paige in this issue. This is a beautifully drawn book as well. You want to talk about some great art and some really spectacular panels. This book definitely has it. There's backup Fire and Ice story in here as well to make this a bit more of an oversized issue. Yeah, if you're a Power Girl fan, or if you're looking for a book to maybe get interested in the character, I think this could be it. Here's a name I want you to get to know real well here soon, Helena Macias. I hope I'm saying that right, because Helena's art in Deep Cuts #2 from Image Comics is incredible. This particular issue deals with a woman who's trying to write the best jazz song ever and do it in a day. Can it be done? That's part of what goes on through this issue in 1928 Chicago. Actually, Deep Cuts is going to jump through different eras of music and different years and different decades and stuff like that. It's going to talk about blues, jazz, all kinds of different stuff. This one just happens to be an issue that deals with jazz and a woman that's basically trying to go from a little-known Broadway writer to a writer of great jazz music, and just how she gets into the music and sort of weaves her way through this thing, who she meets and how she deals with it. And again, feelings of inadequacy for herself and the pressure of just trying to live and survive and be able to pay rent in Chicago in 1928. It's not easy. So again, this is an oversized issue as well. And this is not quite an anthology series, but kind of an anthology series. So if you dig music, if you just dig stories from different time periods, Kyle Higgins and Joe Clark really take you through not just the city, but the music as well in this one. Deep Cuts is one of those ones where if you love music and comics at the same time, we've been seeing that combination sort of jive together a little bit more in the last couple of years especially. This is one you should probably check out. I'm going to start doing these on a more regular basis to give you more recommendations for comics every week. If you got something you think I or anybody else watching this should be reading, put it in the comments. Love to hear what you have to say.